Charles Barkley versus Michael Jordan. Charles Barkley and Michael Jordan rivalry developed from their respective competitive respect, public commentary, and an encounter during an NBA Finals confrontation that defined both players' legacies in different ways. Both entered the league in 1984 and quickly became dominant forces, Jordan with the Chicago Bulls as a perimeter scorer and defensive threat, Barkley with the Philadelphia 76ers, and later the Phoenix Suns, as an elite power forward known for his rebounding and interior scoring ability. Their most significant meeting occurred during the 1993 NBA Finals. The Chicago Bulls, led by Jordan, entered the series as defending champions, seeking a third consecutive title. The Phoenix Suns, led by Barkley, had the league's best regular season record at 62-20, and he won the 1993 NBA MVP award after averaging 25.6 points and 12.2 rebounds per game. Phoenix delivered a great showing in Game 1 of the 1993 NBA Finals, but Chicago prevailed 100-92. Barkley scored 27 points and grabbed 13 rebounds in a Suns victory. However, Chicago went on to adjust defensively as the series progressed. Jordan, on the other hand, responded with one of the most memorable finals performances in the league history. Jordan scored 55 points in Game 4 against Chicago, one of the best scoring efforts in the history of the NBA. The Bulls won the game and shifted momentum. The series extended to 6 games, where Chicago defeated Phoenix 4-2 to capture its third consecutive championship. Jordan averaged 41.0 points per game in the series and was named the Finals MVP for the third straight year. Barkley averaged 27.3 points and 13.0 rebounds during the finals, but was unfortunately unlucky to secure the championship. Beyond the finals matchup, public exchanges fueled the rivalry. Barkley publicly criticized Jordan's competitive approach at times during the 1990s, suggesting that Jordan benefited from playing on stronger roster structures. Jordan, on the other hand, responded in competitive fashion on the court and through indirect public comments emphasizing championship success. Their rivalry extended into the All-Star games and regular season matchups where both players frequently guarded each other during stretches. Their physical play and technical fouls were recorded in multiple games, thereby reflecting the heightened intensity among the duo. But after their retirement came, they both acknowledged mutual respect and let the past be behind them. However, during their playing careers, the most competitive comparisons between them was particularly the MVP awards and championships, which did define the narrative. Allen Iverson versus Kobe Bryant. The rivalry between Allen Iverson and Kobe Bryant was crystallized in one championship series, but the tension that surrounds it was rooted in parallel ascensions that began in the same draft class and converged at the height of their early primes. Both entered the league in 1996. Iverson was drafted first overall by the Philadelphia 76ers and immediately became the franchise centerpiece, while Bryant was drafted 13th overall by the Charlotte Hornets and traded to the Los Angeles Lakers on draft night. By 2000 to 2001, both had established themselves as elite perimeter scorers in opposite conferences. The defining confrontation came in the 2001 NBA Finals. The Lakers went into the 2001 NBA Finals with an 11-0 playoff record, sweeping the Portland Trail Blazers, Sacramento Kings, and San Antonio Spurs. The 76ers then advanced through the Eastern Conference by defeating Indiana, Toronto, and Milwaukee. The latter in a 7-game Eastern Conference Finals series where Iverson averaged 30.5 points. Game 1 of the Finals took place on June 6, 2001 at Staples Center. Then Iverson delivered one of the most documented individual performances in the history of finals. Iverson averaged 48 points, 6 assists, 5 rebounds, and 5 steals in 52 minutes. Philadelphia went on to win 107-101 in overtime and handed the Lakers their first postseason loss. Late in overtime, Iverson hit a baseline jumper over Lakers guard Tyronn Lue and stepped over him after the shot. The image became one of the defining visuals of early 2000s basketball. Bryant struggled in Game 1, scoring 15 points on 7 of 22 shooting while defending Iverson in stretches. Over the remaining 4 games, adjustments were made defensively. Bryant went on to increase the ball pressure and forced contested shots, while the Lakers also utilized length and help rotations to contain any penetration by Iverson. The Lakers won the next 4 games, capturing the championship 4-1. While in Game 2, Bryant scored 31 points as Los Angeles tied the series. And in Game 3 in Philadelphia, Bryant recorded 32 points and 6 rebounds, where the Lakers closed the series in Game 5, winning 108-96. There were no suspension attached to their rivalry. The rivalry did not involve suspensions or documented altercations between Iverson and Bryant. Instead, it centered on direct defensive matchups and contrasting offensive roles. Iverson went on to carry a usage rate above 35% during the series, while Bryant operated within the triangle offense alongside O'Neal. Iverson went on to win the 2001 regular season MVP award after averaging 31.1 points per game, and Bryant finished fourth in MVP voting that season. Though the 2001 finals marked their only playoff meeting, the series remains historically significant, as it ended the Lakers' perfect postseason run and produced one of the most replayed finals moments in league history. If you're enjoying this, please subscribe to the channel and drop a like. Thanks. Stephen Curry versus LeBron James. The rivalry between Stephen Curry and LeBron James was defined through 4 consecutive NBA Finals appearances between the Golden State Warriors and the Cleveland Cavaliers from 2015 to 2018. It remains the only time in league history that the same 2 teams met in 4 straight finals. The first instance occurred in the 2015 NBA Finals. Golden State defeated Cleveland 4-2, where James averaged 35.8 points, 13.3 rebounds, and 8.8 assists across the series after Cavaliers starters Kyrie Irving and Kevin Love were injured. Curry averaged 26.0 points and 6.3 assists. Golden State's Andre Iguodala was named the Finals MVP, while the Warriors won their first championship since 1975. The rivalry escalated in the 2016 NBA Finals, which is widely considered as one of the most consequential series in history of the league. Golden State entered the series after a 73-9 regular season, the best record in NBA history. The Warriors led the finals 3-1. Cleveland won games 5, 6, and 7, and in their Game 7 on June 19, 2016, James recorded a triple-double. 27 points, 11 rebounds, 11 assists. With just 150 minutes remaining and the score tied 89-89, James executed a chase down block on Andre Iguodala, which resulted in Cleveland winning on 93-89, securing the franchise's first NBA championship. The rivalry intensified after Kevin Durant joined Golden State in July 2016. In the 2017 NBA Finals, the Warriors defeated the Cavaliers 4-1. Durant averaged 35.2 points and was named Finals MVP. During the 2018 NBA Finals, Golden State swept Cleveland 4-0. In Game 1, James scored 51 points, but Cleveland lost 124-114 in overtime. Curry, on the other hand, averaged 27.5 points in the series, while Durant averaged 28.8 and was named Finals MVP again. The rivalry included documented on-court moments, including technical fouls during the 2016 season and public competitive remarks about championship legacies. However, there were no suspensions directly involving Curry and James during their final matchups. The Curry and James rivalry was defined by 4 straight NBA Finals games, as well as the NBA Finals' first 3-1 comeback. Chris Paul versus Rajon Rondo. Chris Paul and Rajon Rondo rivalry escalated from competitive matchups into one of the most documented physical confrontations in recent NBA history, resulting in suspensions and league disciplinary action. Both players did establish themselves as elite playmaking guards with strong defensive instincts and high basketball intelligence. Their paths crossed multiple times during playoff settings and regular season matchups, particularly after Paul joined the Houston Rockets and Rondo later signed with the Los Angeles Lakers. The intensity of those team matchups increased the level of scrutiny and direct on-court interactions between their duo. However, here comes the defining moment, which occurred on October 20, 2018, during a regular season game between the Rockets and the Lakers at Staples Center. In the fourth quarter of this game, a physical contact developed near the baseline after a play involving Paul and Lakers forward Brandon Ingram. At first, words were exchanged between Paul and Rondo. However, the situation quickly escalated into a physical confrontation when they began pushing before the altercation escalated into punches. Video replays showed Rondo appearing to throw a punch toward Paul. While Paul responded physically, Ingram entered the confrontation, appearing to throw a punch as well before the altercation was broken up by officials and teammates. After review from referees, they were issued immediate ejection to Chris Paul, Rajon Rondo, and Brandon Ingram. The NBA conducted a league review of the footage and surrounding actions. On October 21, 2018, the league announced formal suspensions. Rondo received a 3-game suspension for initiating and escalating the physical contact. Paul, on the other hand, received a 2-game suspension for involvement in the altercation and retaliation. while Ingram received a 4-game suspension for aggressive actions that included making contact after the initial confrontation had already begun. The league's ruling was based on unsportsmanlike conduct, physical aggression, and participation in a fight as the basis for disciplinary measures. After the incident, both players addressed the altercation publicly through media interviews. Paul described the confrontation as the result of competitive frustration and prior exchanges between players on the court. Rondo, on the other hand, stated that his reaction followed perceived provocation during the sequence of play. Their rivalry was one of the on-court confrontations that led to a direct suspension for all players involved. Anthony Edwards versus Devin Booker. Anthony Edwards of the Minnesota Timberwolves and Devin Booker of the Phoenix Suns developed into one of the most visible individual rivalries in the Western Conference during the mid-2020s. Their matchups intensified as both players emerged as primary scorers for their teams respectively and frequently met in high-stakes games. Edwards entered the league in the 2020 to 2021 season as the first overall pick in the 2020 NBA draft, while Booker had already established himself as the franchise centerpiece in Phoenix. As Edwards' role grew in Minnesota, direct scoring duels between the two guards became more frequent in regular season meetings and eventually in the postseason. By the 2024 to 2025 NBA season, Edwards and Booker had met several times in regular season games and in the 2024 Western Conference first-round playoff series. In those meetings, Booker held a 12-9 overall head-to-head advantage, while Edwards led the postseason series 4-0. StatsGround, both players produced similar scoring numbers when playing against each other. Booker averaged 26.2 points, 6.8 assists, and 3.9 rebounds in those matchups, while Edwards averaged 25.1 points, 5.0 assists, and 6.0 rebounds, reflecting their roles as offensive focal points for their respective teams. The rivalry gained significant attention during the 2024 Western Conference first-round playoff series between Minnesota and Phoenix. Edwards did lead the Timberwolves in scoring throughout the series and played a major defensive role against Booker. In Game 4, which eliminated Phoenix, Booker scored a solid 49 points, but Edwards' defensive pressure and Minnesota's overall performance completed a sweep that advanced the Timberwolves to the next round of the playoffs. Following that postseason series, their regular season meetings continued to feature notable performances from both of them. During the 2024 to 2025 season, Booker averaged 24.8 points, 6.5 assists, and 3.5 rebounds across 4 games against Minnesota, maintaining his scoring production despite the Timberwolves' defensive pressure. Individual games between them often included high-scoring outputs. Booker has had many high-scoring outings versus Minnesota, indicating his status as Phoenix's key offensive option. As time went by, their rivalry reflected a broader competitive dynamic between the Timberwolves and Suns during this period. Minnesota's rise in the Western Conference standings coincided with Edwards' development into an all-star level player, while Phoenix continued to build around Booker as its offensive leader. Their meetings regularly featured direct scoring exchanges, defensive matchups on the perimeter, and late-game shot attempts by both players. Their matchups remain among the most closely watched guard battles in the Western Conference due to the frequency of their scoring duels, playoff encounters, and similar offensive roles within their teams. Confrontations have always been a part of the game. In the NBA, players have often flared up during intense competition throughout the history of the NBA. Some resolved their differences and moved on, while some held on to it even till retirement day. While players in the league have no power over the outcome of their intense actions, the league has always found a way to suppress situations and mostly got it under control. There you have it, every rivalry in the NBA you might have missed out on. Do let me know in the comment section which of these rivalries you watched and remembered when it occurred. I'll be in the comment. Don't forget to like and share this video. Thanks.